Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video, and in this video I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. This is going to be a very long video, a 2-hour special, mind you, so I hope you guys are ready to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Shout out to King of Craxels for donating $14 on our Cash App to make this 2-hour special possible. If you guys have ideas for videos, definitely make sure to hit me up on our Discord link in the description, and if I'm down to do the video, feel free to submit the necessary funds to the Cash App link in the description. I charge $7 per hour of content. So without further ado, let's hop right into the adventure. So I'm going to click over to here, and first let's start up this 2-hour timer actually. 2 hours is probably like the longest special anybody has like paid for so far, so this is going to be interesting. Also, King of Craxel asked that I put his logo within the view, so that's what the logo is next to my image. So let's jump right into the adventure. You are Jet Starlight. You are a god, but you don't remember who you are or what you're capable of. You are in an unfamiliar world where magic and modern technology coexist. You have teamed up with Vic Victoria Sirens to take on the Warden of Seld City at the Warden's Dark Castle. Vic Victoria Sirens is a thief who spends her time stealing from the Warden of Seld City and relaxing in the magic rooftop pools of Silver Sands Hotel. Vic Victoria Sirens cares little about good and evil, and instead cares more about intelligence and competence. The Warden of Seld City is a monster who rules over Seld City and forces its most powerful denizens to fight in gladiator-style battles. The Warden of Seld City appears to be trying to form an army of the strongest beings in Seld City. Vic Victoria Sirens wants to steal the Warden's magical crown. You decide to help Vic Victoria Sirens by distracting the Warden by challenging him to a fight. You say, "Warden, your time has come. Face me in hand-to-hand combat. Let's see which one of us comes out on top." The Warden says, "You are bold. I accept your challenge, but do know that if I win, you must join my army." So there we go. The fight has been set. I'm just double checking to make sure that I have started recording and that the timer is winding down. Okay, let's just jump right into the adventure. So I'm going to ask the Warden, what powers do you possess? I want to get an idea of what I'm getting into. Also, since this is just all meant to be distraction, the more time I can waste of the Warden, the better. The Warden says, "I can control people, trees, and rocks. I can also manipulate the minds of my opponents. Now that you know what he can do, it's time to choose your powers." You don't know what your powers are, and you wonder if the Warden's powers will allow him to manipulate your mind. You ask the Warden, if you can manipulate the minds of your opponents, then is it safe to say that if you could manipulate my mind, that you would have done so already? So I'm trying to figure out, is he not manipulating my mind because he can't, or just because he hasn't thought of doing so yet? The Warden says, "Very perceptive of you. As I said, you are very bold to challenge me like you did." The Warden laughs as he tells you that he is manipulating your mind right now, and that none of this is real. Interesting. So he claims that he's already in my head. Okay. So I'm skeptical of whether or not the Warden actually can manipulate my mind. Yeah, I believe that if the Warden could manipulate my mind, that the Warden would have forced me to surrender by now. I'm going to take note of the fact that the Warden doesn't possess super strength or super speed, meaning that a quick punch likely, well, I guess it's less about super strength. He doesn't possess like super durability or super speed. So you imagine he couldn't dodge or take a quick and powerful punch. Yeah, like I feel like if I like hit him really hard, really fast, he probably couldn't do anything about it. I mean, his powers sound really good. He can manipulate people, trees, and rocks, but if I just punch him, I think he just gets screwed over. You leap towards the Warden with your fist drawn back and take a wild swing and hit the Warden squarely in the jaw. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I'm going to say to the Warden, your power set seems to be lacking. You don't possess any inherently defensive or offensive abilities. Your ability to control people seems like a bluff, a mind game that you say to just intimidate opponents. Your power to manipulate trees and rocks seems useless indoors. Since we are battling inside of your castle, you don't have a chance of defeating me. Yeah, like, this is not his fight. He just has really bad powers. If we were like in a forest or like a rock quarry or something, or even just surrounded by a bunch of people, like if he can control other people but not me, then I feel like I could be like worried. But here, he's just doomed. The Warden appears to be angry as he says, "I'll kill you." He's unable to attack you due to his chains. Chains? What? He's chained up and yet he challenged me to a fight? I kind of don't like that part, like the idea that he's chained down. Retry that. Retry that. I want to see it say something different. The Warden staggers backwards. The Warden said, "How is it that you can hit me, but I can't hit you? Why can't I manipulate your mind? How is it that you can wield the power of flight?" Flight? Wait, what? I suddenly realize that I can fly. You were excited by this revelation. You say to the Warden, "You likely couldn't hit me because of the fact that I can dodge your attacks in midair." Yeah, so that's interesting. Did he even try to hit me? Like, if he did, I didn't even, like, perceive him do it. They didn't, like, describe him trying to hit me. The Warden says, "Well, I see how it is. You're a cheater. Flying is cheating, and therefore you have an unfair advantage. I wish for a rematch when you're on an equal footing." The Warden quickly runs to the other side of his castle. What? I'm going to chase after the Warden and say, "Not so fast. Flying isn't cheating. You possess powers as well. So we're already on equal footing. Victory is mine." Yeah, your powers just suck. So don't blame me for having shitty powers. That's all you. Though then again, I feel like his powers are only like situationally shitty. You fly after the warden, dodging trees that he summons to try and stop you. Oh, he can summon trees? Oh, he's like way better. Okay, never mind. Like, I guess we don't need to be in a forest if he can just make trees show up. You fly faster than the warden can walk. Within seconds, you catch up to him. The warden says, "You're right. You do win this round." I'm going to say to the warden, I want you to step down and appoint me as the new ruler of Seld City. So there we go. I won the fight, and I know what he's capable of. So now here are my terms. Let's see. The warden says, "I'm sorry, but I can't do that. You're a worthy opponent. I don't think you'd make a great ruler. I've watched you fight, and I haven't seen anything that impresses me." I'm going to say to the warden, "You just lost in a fight against me. If you don't think I've proven myself worthy, then I would be more than happy to fight you again." Yeah. So I feel like the warden is really trying to test his luck here. Though I will say, since he can summon trees and like rocks, this might actually be a crazier fight. The warden says, "I don't think that'll be necessary. Yeah, you've proven yourself to me. I'm not sure if you've proven yourself that you're worthy of ruling." Okay, and then it said the warden says, but it didn't finish off what the warden was going to say. So I'm going to actually get rid of that part. So I'm going to ask the warden, what would I have to do to prove myself a worthy ruler? I mean, that being said, I could just beat him up. Like, it doesn't seem like I really need to prove anything. The warden says, "Do you know about the mind mirror?" You say, "No." So I'm going to change it from you say no to you reply no. I mean, why would I just say no? I'm going to reply no. What is the mind mirror? And then I'm going to change it from the warden says to the warden explains. And then let's just hit enter and see what he says. Interesting. So I want to learn more about this mind mirror or whatever. The warden explains, "It's a magical device that allows the user to see into their own mind and past. It's the only way you're going to learn anything about yourself or your past." And then I'm going to reply to the warden. So you're saying that without knowing one's past for certain, beyond that of even one's own memory, can someone truly see if they are worthy of being a ruler? Because that actually is like an interesting idea. It's an idea that I disagree with, but it definitely ties into the fact that my character doesn't remember who they are. The warden says, "Yes, the mind mirror allows you to see the truth of things beyond what even your own eyes can see. The only way to truly know things for certain is by using the mind mirror." The warden turns around and walks away from you. I'm going to say to the warden, "Not so fast. I disagree. A man's past means nothing. The greatest sinners can become priests, and the greatest priest can become monsters. I don't care about who I was. I am paving for my future. I don't need the mind mirror. You will either give me control of Celled City, or I will take control by force." So there we go. I'm not taking your dumb thing. The warden shakes his head and says, "You are very misguided. Your fight isn't with me." The warden turns to face you. "You need to go fight the true evil in this world, the Church of Jockey." The warden then leaves you to make your own way home. What? I'm going to follow the warden and ask, what is the Church of Jockey? Yeah, we're starting to unlock some lore here. The warden stops walking and looks over his shoulder at you. I'm gonna just hit enter. And also, my fight is with the warden. He's changing the subject, but I'm interested in hearing about the subject. The warden says, "That is for you to find out. I suggest that you look into it, though." The warden then leaves you to make your own way home. The warden can't just leave me. I'm inside of his castle. I'm going to follow the warden and say, "You don't understand the situation that you are in. You either give me control of the city, or I take it from you right now." Yeah, I already said this a moment ago. I'll hit him. I'll just hit him the next time. I'm not gonna say that again. I'm giving him the choice. The warden stops walking and looks at you. He raises his hands up slowly and claps them together, then brings them up to the sides of his face. The warden says, "I wish you hadn't done that. I was trying to be nice." I'm going to reply to the warden, "So was I." And then I'm going to attempt to flying kick the warden as hard as I can into a nearby wall. Yeah, I already told him, relinquish your title or I'll take it, or whatever. Talking about some "I was trying to be nice" bullshit. You fly through the air at the warden. He waits until the last second, then sidesteps and catches hold of your right ankle. The warden pivots around, swinging you in an arc towards a large, solid metal door. Oh my gosh. You quickly realize that the warden's ability to counterattack is much more refined than you had originally imagined. In round one, you were facing an enemy who didn't know what you were capable of. Now in round two, the warden knows that you can fly and is using that knowledge to try and get the upper hand against you. Okay, so this is actually really fascinating. I'm curious to see how this fight's gonna go. You swing your arms down in an attempt to hit the solid metal door and break your fall. Instead, you smack into it at full force and feel an explosion of pain shoot through your entire body. You didn't think that would actually break your arms, but you may be wrong. Okay, so it seems like my arms might be broken, which will probably limit me to, like, kicking. Yeah, like, what is the best thing to do at this moment? I'm going to say to the Warden, I didn't know you had it in you. Okay, let's fight. I just took my move. Now it is your turn. You wait for the Warden to attack you. The Warden demonstrated his ability to counter an obvious flying attack. But the Warden has yet to land a hit on you that wasn't a counter hit. You think that if you can counter the Warden's next attack, that you should be able to pin him and claim victory of the second round. Do 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 do. The Warden flies towards you and attempts to backhand you. You attempt to dodge, but he manages to graze your cheek with his fingers, ripping off a patch of skin and some hair. You fly straight up in the air with your arms at your side. I then attempt to dive down. Well, I guess to dive straight down on the Warden's head like a powerful jackhammer. Okay. I need to take them down, like, as soon as possible. I like the, like, but he manages to graze your cheek, ripping a patch of skin and some hair off your face. That's wild. You fly straight down at full speed, and the Warden backpedals as fast as he can to avoid you. He ends up right under you and smashes both of his fists into your kidneys as hard as he can. You scream in pain and start falling back to the ground. Goodness. Okay, his counter game is quite impressive. I need to figure out if I have any other powers. Or if I can do an attack that he can't counter. Okay. So I realized that the Warden is fast enough to react at the last second to my attacks. I decide that I need to confuse the Warden in order to prevent him from countering. Excuse me. I'm going to fly around the Warden as fast as I can to try and create after images of myself around the Warden. And then I hope that the after images will trick the Warden and allow you to attack the Warden from behind with a powerful finishing blow. So let's see if that works. So I've broken my arms. Both of my kidneys have been like pounded to all fuck. The warden's eyes glaze over as he tries to follow all of your movements. Unfortunately, you don't notice that the warden has his arms at his side. The warden opens his hands and two blades pop out of his arms. Yo, what? So I'm like flying around him in circles. He has his arms at his side, so they're not like extended outward, they're like down here. And my boy has hidden blades. He's going full Assassin's Creed on me. And it says that I don't notice that. So great. So I'm going to attempt to kick the warden in the back while he's focused on the after images. So I'm still going to go along with my plan as before, and hope that I don't get hidden blade shanked. The warden turns just in time to see your kick. He falls backwards and raises his left arm. Your foot hits the blade that pops out of his arm, and you fall right on top of him. Ah, crap. So your foot hits the blade that pops out of his arm. Well, actually, hold on. That makes it sound like he like hidden blades, but then I like kick the blade, and then I fall on top of him. I'm now going to attempt to bash the warden's face in with a barrage. Oh great, my arms are broken. Of headbutts. Because my arms are broken. So I'm going to try to bash in his face with my face. Goodness. Your headbutt does nothing, but the warden's teeth, oh my gosh, but the warden's teeth rip through your entire midsection. His face is covered in blood, and you try to scream, but you can't breathe. The warden rips you in half and eats your heart. Goodness, that was quite brutal. That whole fight was insanely brutal. How much time do I have? Okay, we haven't even scratched 30 minutes. Already dead. Okay. I'm going to attempt to form into a ghost. Well, yeah, I'm going to attempt to transform into a ghost. I mean, I'm already dead, so it's weird to say attempt to transform into a ghost. I never know how to phrase this. Like, I don't want to go on to the afterlife now that I'm dead. You realize that you are now dead, and decide to try and become a ghost so that you can continue your unfinished business. That may be the best way to phrase it. So let's see what I can do. Unfortunately, you're unable to become a ghost. The warden ate your heart, which apparently prevents you from becoming a ghost. You can't help Vic Victoria Sirens anymore. Okay, so I can't become a ghost. I guess I'm perplexed by the situation. You wonder what happens when you die if you can't become a ghost. Yeah, like, what's the alternative or whatever? What are you currently if not a ghost? If the warden, like, ate your heart? Which prevents you from becoming a ghost, apparently. You realize that you are the main character of your story. The odds of you being reincarnated into another life are pretty high. You wonder if you'll meet Vic Victoria Sirens again, or if you'll be reborn before and meet her. Okay. I'm going to attempt to reincarnate into another life. Sure, why not? So that's where the story's going, I guess. You wake up. Congratulations, you made it out of that terrible story and into a brand new one. Okay. I'm going to try to figure out who I am now that I've reincarnated. Do 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 do. You look wait. You look around to see that you're standing in a crib. You have on a blue onesie and there's a rattle next to you. You hear a door open and close. It's time to get up, darling, a woman's voice says. What? I'm going to say to the woman, so I'm a baby now? The fuck? What? What? You were a very bad boy today. You threw your rattle at the dog and broke it, the woman says in an exaggeratedly disappointed voice. What's your name? You ask. I'm Mommy, and you're Carla Jean, the woman replies. Aw, what? I'm a boy with name Carla? What the fuck? Why'd you name me Carla? Okay. You were disappointed by your very feminine name. I'm going to attempt to fly. You know that you were able to fly in your past life, so you hope that you can still fly now. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually really weird. You jump out of your crib and find yourself floating a few inches above the ground. Carla Jean seems surprised by this. I'm Carla Jean. No, she's Mommy, apparently, because that's all they've called her. You can call her, like, Mrs. Jean. How about that? A baby can't fly, can it? Mrs. Jean asked herself. It can if it's reincarnated, you reply. So I'm going to explain to Mrs. Jean that you're a reincarnation of a being known as Jet Starlight, and that you could fly in your past life. Also, Carla Jean is a stupid name. Please don't call me that ever again. Oh, I should have said I explained to Mrs. Jean. What a terrible story, Mrs. Jean replies. I know, but I can fly, so it's not all bad, you say. The story direction is so fucking weird. What would you like for breakfast? Mrs. Jean asked. It was like French toast, you say with excitement. Nah, nah, that ain't me. So I'm gonna just edit out everything after she said, "What a terrible story." And then I'm going to say to Mrs. Jean, "What's so terrible about my life story?" I'm like, I feel insulted. The fuck? I just explained to you, like, who I am. What a terrible story. Fuck you, Mrs. Jean. She gets up and walks towards the door. "I've heard far worse stories than yours, Carla Jean," she says before closing the door behind her. Okay. Interesting. Hmm. Well, I don't really have any direction as like a baby. It was kind of sucks. But maybe this will give me more time to like grow and become like an actual person with like a goal. Let's see. I'm gonna try to see what other powers I possess. When you see your baby fall out of a crib and float above the ground, and then you just go, "Babies can't fly." You float around the room and get an idea. You grab the balloon that's sitting on the floor. It's a creepy, smiling clown with blood all over its face and hands. You float over to the mirror and see that you still look like yourself, but a bit younger. What? What the fuck? What's up with this balloon? Why do I have a fucking bloody clown balloon? Is this it? This is an it balloon? Alright, hold up a second. I'm going to yell, "Mrs. Jean, why do I have a creepy clown balloon in my room?" Yeah, what is this? "Because I thought you might like it," she responds as she walks back in the room. "Here's your lunch, honey." She places a sandwich and an orange on the table next to the balloon. She doesn't notice that you're floating. I'm going to ask Mrs. Jean, why are you so calm about me having powers and being able to talk? Yeah, like, isn't that weird? Isn't that, shouldn't you be like more freaked out about it? What baby can eat a sandwich and an orange? Maybe I'm old enough to. I actually don't know how old you have to be to eat those things. Why shouldn't I be? I heard you the first time. You were a little girl with a balloon. I'm happy you finally learned how to talk, Carla Jean. No, no, I'm not a little girl. No, no, retry. She clearly called me a boy before. Don't fuck with me. I had a feeling you'd end up like this when you were younger. I bought that balloon to try to scare you into not doing it. She tried to scare me into not having superpowers? That's really silly. I'm going to ask Mrs. Jean, what signs did I show when I was younger that indicated that I might grow up with powers? The balloon needing a backstory for scaring you out of having powers is really weird, but honestly kind of unique. Never heard that one before. You ever use power to just scare the shit out of you? Don't use powers anymore. What? What the fuck? You used to tell endless stories about fairies and other magical creatures. You also had quite the imagination. For a while, you went through a stage where you would act like different animals, always saying that you were one instead of a human. Nigga, I've known how to talk the whole time. So talking is normal. Yeah, I didn't just suddenly talk for the first time. Okay, fair. I'm old enough to eat sandwiches and shit. Why am I in a crib? At what age do you stop being in a crib? Am I 2? Am I 2 years old? Like, I'm gonna ask Miss Jean, how old am I? Like, you're saying that I've been like talking about stuff for years, and I've always talked about like being different animals and telling stories about fairies and magical creatures. And how is that indicative that I'm 8 years old? Shut the fuck up. And why the fuck am I in a crib? Why do I have a rattle and shit? No, retry. Hold up, this is so weird. 8 doesn't make sense. You're 3 years old, Carla Jean. I'll accept that. That's a reasonable age. And get rid of the extra stuff. The extra stuff is weird. The whole story is weird. Okay. So I guess the next thing that I'll ask Miss Jean, why did you think that a creepy balloon would prevent me from using superpowers? Right? Like, if you suspected me of having superpowers, so you bought a creepy balloon, what's that logic chain? Let's understand that. Excuse me. What the fuck? I hope that it would at least prevent you from telling anyone else. What does that mean? Don't retry. I need a like not confusing answer. I was hoping it would scare you into not using them. It didn't work, but I'm glad you're not using them to hurt people. She's like, I just hoped it would work. I guess I want to know more about Mrs. Jean. I'm going to say, so are you my biological mother? Yeah. Or am I like adopted or something? Do 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 do. So AI is like, what did he say? Doesn't know how to respond. I'm trying to figure out if I'm like adopted in this world or something. Yes, I gave birth to you. I wanted to take you with me when I escaped this place, but your powers had already developed by that time. Wait, what the fuck? When you escaped this place? I'm going to ask Miss Jean. Escaped this place? Where are we? And why do you want to escape from here? Do 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 do. We're in a prison, Carla Jean. I'm trying to escape because I'm innocent. When they finally realize that they'll give me a fair trial and let me go. What? What? I'm in prison. I'm in prison. This is okay. Crazy turn of events. So this changes a lot then. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask Miss Jean. How can I prove your innocence? I have the power to fly, and I'm a pretty intelligent 3-year-old or whatever. Maybe I can do something. You can't, Carla Jean. Just go with your life. Enjoy it while you can. Let's see. I'm innocent. The whole thing was a misunderstanding. When they realize that, they'll let me go. And then she heads to the door. Interesting. Well, I don't want to be stuck in prison. The fuck? Wait. Okay, so I'm going to ask Miss Jean. What crime are you in here for? I also don't know who my father is. That hasn't even come up yet. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I killed my husband. The clown balloon pops. You hear the sound of an alarm klaxon going off in the distance. I have to go now, Carla Jean. Goodbye. Mrs. Jean runs out the door as you float after her. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, so that explains the father thing. So, I don't even know if she's actually innocent or not. I don't know if she has any powers or if my father has any powers. I'm going to ask Mrs. Jean. Are you making a break for it? Is this our opportunity to escape? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, wow, 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 dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. The alarm continues to blare. I have to, Carla Jean. The Miss Jean opens the door and runs out into the hallways of the prison. You float out after her as she rushes out into the hallway before realizing that this was a mistake. Ooh, also they call her the Miss Jean. She's just Miss Jean. Shit. I'm going to ask Mrs. Jean. How do you plan on getting past the guards? Do you have any powers? Yeah. So far, so weird. Like, really weird story that keeps getting weirder. I can float things. Oh, what? She's like the chick from My Hero Academia that Midoriya has a crush on. Zero Gravity or Gravity Girl or whatever the hell her name is. This doesn't seem like it would help. You float out into the hallway to see a guard heading towards you. Guards, we have an escape attempt, yells the guard to his fellow guards. Okay. I'm going to ask Mrs. Jean, can you float all the guards up to the ceiling to get them out of our way? I can try, Carla Jean. She floats into the hallway as the guards rush towards her. There's an escape attempt. Don't let the murderer escape. he yells to his fellows. Goodness. There's a character on a show I like called Dinosaurs that's a baby, and his catchphrase is, I'm the baby, gotta love me. And I want to yell that. So I'm going to yell that. So I'm going to yell to the guards. I'm the baby, gotta love me. And then I'm going to roll into a ball and fly at the guards at incredible speeds to try and hit them to the ground like bowling pins. Okay, so let's try and take these guards out. You turn yourself into a fireball and shoot down the hallway. You hit the first guard in the chest, knocking him over. The problem is, you're not out of control and heading straight for the wall. Okay, crap. I'm going to try to slow my momentum in order to avoid hitting the wall. Also, I can turn into a fireball, guys. I wasn't even trying to do that. I was just trying to, like, be a ball and hit him. So I can straight up turn into a ball of fire. That's dope. I feel like baby Human Torch up in this bitch. You stop yourself before you hit the wall. Unfortunately, this means you're no longer moving fast enough to take out the other guard. He knocks you aside with his rifle before you can react. This ain't over yet, prisoner. I'll come back for you later. Ooh, oh my gosh. I can't believe he hit a fucking baby with a rifle. Okay. I wonder if I can shoot fire. I'm going to attempt to shoot fire at the guards to try and incapacitate them to help Miss Jean escape. Okay. So, this is another pretty crazy story. You blast a fireball towards the guards. It hits the wall next to the guards, burning a hole in it and setting it alight. The fire quickly begins to spread as the other guards try to put it out. Okay. I'm going to try to catch up with Miss Jean. Okay. Urahara? Is that the name of the girl from My Hero Academia? Let's see. It didn't know what to say. I'm trying to catch up with Miss Jean. She's my mom, I guess. You float out into the burning hallway. You aren't able to see Miss Jean anywhere, and you can't make your voice heard over the sound of the flames. Where are you, Carla Jean? Okay, so I'm going to try to follow the voice of Miss Jean to catch up with her. Oh my gosh. I'm glad that the judge bots aren't the actual, like, text of the thing, because they'll say crazy stuff sometimes. You float into the blazing hallway. It's difficult to see in the darkness and the smoke from the fire, but you can just make out the vague shape of a figure floating along. Miss Jean, you yell, before realizing that you're wasting air. Okay, so I have to focus on getting myself out of the prison. You decide that you should focus on escaping first, and then hopefully regrouping with Miss Jean. if she if she also was able to escape. Yeah, like, I don't really have time to try and, like, catch up with my mom. I just have to escape myself and hope that I can later. You float through the hole in the wall and into the sweltering jungle. You look around desperately for some sort of shelter, but there is nothing. You need to find some shade fast, or you'll feel the effects of the heat. Great, out of the frying pan and into the fire. So, it's too hot. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to find shade. Actually, I'm going to look for a cave nearby where I can hide and escape the heat. So we weren't just in a prison. We were in a prison in a jungle. So a remote prison. That's not good. Also, if she had the power to make things float, and I have the power to fly, then does that mean that her husband / my dead dad or whatever has fire powers? You see a cave nearby. It's a long way down, but the walls are sheer enough that you should be able to float down easily enough. Okay? So I'm going to fly down into the cave to avoid the heat and to, yeah, I guess just to avoid the heat and to take a moment to relax. I did just kind of escape prison, so it would be nice to, like, be able to just take a breather, you know, not have to keep running or whatever. You float down into the cave. It's actually remarkably cool in here, and you're able to relax a little bit. You take a deep breath and try to decide what you should do. You think to yourself, I wonder if this prison is a remote prison away from civilization, or if this prison is close to a nearby city or town. If this is like a prison island kind of thing, like Alcatraz or something, then we're fucked. Because I don't even know what you would do in that situation. I'd have to escape the whole island. The question is, does the prison have a nearby city, or was it built in the middle of nowhere? If it's in the middle of nowhere, you'll probably never be found. If it's near a city or a town, you might be able to find help. Let's see. I know that you have the power to fly, turn into a fireball, and shoot fireballs. I wonder what other powers I might possess. And I think my father might have had fire powers, considering that my mother had the power to make things float. That being said, my ability to float isn't quite the same as her ability to make other things float. Excuse me. It's like slightly different. You might have more than just fire powers, you think to yourself. You concentrate and try to change the color of your skin. Your skin turns a bright shade of red. It itches horribly, and you can only imagine what you look like. Oh goodness, I can actually change the color of my skin, but it also changes, like, other aspects of it. Okay. I'm gonna try to change my skin to blue. So when I make my skin red, it gets all itchy. Your skin turns to a shade of blue. Thankful you no longer itch. Oh, it says, thankful you no longer itch. Just say your skin turns a shade of blue. Thankfully, it no longer itches. You decide you're never going to do that again. Instead, you decide to float up to the top of the cave and see if you can figure out where you are. I'm going to fly out of the cave and fly high above the island, well, I guess the jungle, to see if there is a nearby city. Hopefully I don't get sniped by like a guard in a watchtower or something. Even if I do, it sounds like I just reincarnate in a new world anyways, so it doesn't really matter. You fly up into the air and look for a nearby city. Unfortunately, you can't see anything but jungle in every direction. You realize you're lost in the jungle, with no food, water, or human contact. Okay, maybe I can go like full Tarzan on this. Okay, I'm going to attempt to find a family of gorillas to raise me in the jungle. Straight up, we're just gonna go for a Tarzan. Hashtag 2 worlds, 1 family. Okay. You find a family of gorillas, but the male eats you. You're dead. Cool. Bump, 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 bump. So we've died twice. Where are we at? And we got an hour left. Cool. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Next up, I'm going to attempt to reincarnate in a new world. I don't know why I had that skin color power or whatever. Really random. What if you get a mix of your parents' powers and then you get like one unique power? And my unique power is I can change the color of my skin. But if I do, it changes the properties of my skin. That's my unique power. That's so weird. You wake up startled. Where are you? You're covered in goo, lying on some sort of table, and you see a newborn baby beside you. Does this mean you've been reincarnated? You get off the table, stand up, and look around. I'm covered in goo. What? What the fuck? And a newborn baby. I'm gonna look for a mirror. Do 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 do. You find a mirror and look at your reflection. Unfortunately, you still look the same. You have not been reincarnated yet. Perhaps you need to do something else. What? What? I'm perplexed. The last thing you remember was being eaten by a male gorilla in the jungle. I wonder why I'm now covered in goo in a room next to a newborn baby. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You muster all of your strength and lift up the heavy table to see what's underneath. You find a strange book with a red cover on the floor. It appears to be an instruction manual of some sort. Okay, I'm gonna read the cover of the strange book. I'm glad that my 3-year-old self can lift a heavy table. That's a strength feat. Though then again, I was able to like fly into a guard at like super fast speeds and not like eat shit. So clearly I have some kind of strength and durability. You open the strange book and begin to read. The book is titled, How to Raise Your Child. You flip through the pages and see that the book has many useful tips about how you should raise your child. Maybe you'll find some good advice in there. Okay, I'm gonna think to myself, I don't want to raise this newborn baby. I'm only 3 years old. I could have sworn that I died when that gorilla ate me. Why didn't I reincarnate? And how did I end up here? Do You try to remember your past life. It was rather short. You went to sleep as Carla Jean and woke up as Jet Starlight. You don't know why, but you were reincarnated instead of going to the afterlife. No. You died as Jet Starlight. And woke up as Carla Jean. And I do kind of know why I was reincarnated instead of going to the afterlife. You were the main character, so you were reincarnated instead of going to the afterlife. The story says as much earlier. I'm going to ask the newborn baby if it can talk. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The newborn baby says, I don't know, I'm only a few days old. You sigh. You're gonna have to raise this baby. There's no turning back now. No, that's not true. That's not how I feel. Also, the newborn baby, it just straight up fucking can talk. And he says he doesn't know that he can talk. How do you feel, Carla Jean? Asked the doctor. See, that's the real scoop. That's the tea right there. I'm gonna suddenly notice that there's a doctor in the room. And then I'm going to say to the doctor, did you save me from that male gorilla? I am positive that the gorilla killed me. So I imagine that you brought me back to life. Yeah, like, you couldn't have just, like, gotten me out of the gorilla's stomach. You'd have to, like, reanimate my, like, baby corpse or whatever. The doctor shakes her head. Oh, it's a female doctor. No, I didn't save you from a male gorilla. You fell off a cliff and broke your neck. I'll have to talk to your parents about letting you climb dangerous things. I'm going to say to the doctor, one, my mother likely died in a fire at prison. 2, she may or may not have killed my father. 3, if you found me at the bottom of a cliff, then that's because the gorilla must have regurgitated my dead corpse over a cliffside. Yeah. Also, that sucks. So if someone revives you, you just don't reincarnate. No, shut up, game. Game fucking ignored everything I said. Retry. The doctor is taken aback by your story. Don't worry about it, you say. These things happen. You yawn and begin to close your eyes. The game's like, you're just sleepy now. Okay, I'm going to quickly shake and open my eyes. You ask the doctor, who will raise you now that your parents are likely dead? Yeah, like, I need to know who is going to be my new parent. I'm not just gonna go to sleep. I will raise you, says the doctor. You're in good hands. All state. Let's see, and then I'm gonna get rid of the rest because it was weird. It was railroading me. I wouldn't have said that. I'm going to ask the doctor for her name. I also want to know if the doctor has any powers. You got any, like, powers and abilities? I'm Dr. Jeanette Dolph, but you can call me Mom, says the doctor. The doctor and the nurse fit you in a red outfit. They place the newborn baby in a carriage and begin pushing it around the room. Okay? I'm going to ask the doctor. Do you have any powers? I have powers, and my mom had powers. I assume my dad had powers, but I never met him. I have lots of powers, says the doctor. I'm practically a superhero. She pushes the carriage around the room, stepping over the cables and connectors that are attached to you. What? I'm going to ask the doctor. Are these cables keeping me alive? I need to reincarnate as, like, an adult. I don't need to be like a weird 3-year-old baby with a superhero doctor mom. Yes, says the doctor. The red baby in the carriage has been attached to cables for so long that he can't survive without them. What? I'm a red baby. I'm the baby that's dressed in red or whatever. The newborn baby is the one in the carriage. Retry. Yes, these cables and the magic that powers them are keeping you alive, says the doctor. I'm surprised that I didn't notice the cables until now. I'm going to say to the doctor, I can reincarnate. Unplug these cables. I want to reincarnate as an adult. I don't want to be a 3-year-old baby. The doctor ignores you and continues walking around the room. You realize that you'll have to unplug the cables yourself. You concentrate as hard as you can on moving your arms, but they're still too weak to pull out the cables. I cannot unplug the cables myself. Dang it. I'm going to shoot a fireball at the cables in the hopes of destroying them. Cables are engulfed in flames. You scream in pain as your body begins to burn. The cables quickly melt away to nothing. You fall off the operating table and hit the floor with a thud. Thank you. I'm going to attempt to reincarnate as an adult in a new world. Superhero doctor mom can't fucking stop a baby from committing suicide. What? You have been killed by an error. Restart from the beginning? Interesting prompt. Retry that. You appear in a sparsely decorated room with 4 doors and a spiral staircase. On the other side of the staircase is, a 5th door. Okay. I'm gonna look for a mirror. You find a mirror lying broken on the floor. You look at yourself. You look exactly the same as you did before your untimely death. You go through the first door. You walk through the doorway and see a clown standing in the corner of a small room. I'm going to say, I'm tired of weird clowns and being a 3-year-old. Yeah, what is this? What is this? It's worse now. It's worse than it was earlier. Yeah, what is this? The clown approaches you and says, "You can't wake up from this nightmare. You'll be trapped here forever." The clown rips off his face to reveal a second, even more horrifying clown underneath. You begin to cry. "You will never be free of me." Okay. You think to yourself, when I was fighting the Warden, he said that he could manipulate the minds of his opponents. I wasn't sure then how deep his manipulation could go. But this clown is practically spelling out to me that I'm inside of an illusory reality. I'm gonna snap my fingers. Let's see what happens. Do 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 do. Come on, AI. Throw me a bone, my dude. In an instant, the room changes. Instead of being trapped in a room with a clown, you find yourself in front of a hospital. You look around confused. Then you notice two people walking out of the hospital doors. One of them is a middle-aged man wearing a cowboy hat. Okay? I'm going to try to see if I am back in Celled City as Jet Starlight. Come on. Come on. If I'm in Celled City, then that'd be great. Hit me up. Hit me up. Hit me up. Hit me up. You turn towards the man, and before you can say anything, your jaw drops open. Your eyes bulge out of your head, and you drop to the floor. It's you, but not you. The man bending over you is obviously the same person, but he looks different. Shit. Okay. You realize that you are still inside of the illusory reality. I'm going to try to fight off the illusion and to return to the real world as Jet Starlight fighting the Warden in Celled City. Come on. It's really hard to fight enemies like this. The Warden is very similar to an enemy from the OG Jet Starlight series. You shake your head back and forth, and the world around you begins to change. Surrounding you are people in masks. They're holding silver swords. They begin to close in on you. Let's see how well that strength of yours works against real fighters. Fuck. Okay. I'm going to look to try and see. I guess I'm going to pinch myself to see if you're finally back. Oh, I said myself instead of yourself. Back in the real world as Jet Starlight. Inside the Warden's castle. Come on. Come on, get me there. Get me there, get me back. It's the real world. You're really back. You stand up and pull out your silver hook. You don't remember having a silver hook, but you appreciate any weapons you can use against these random attackers. You ask the attackers, are you the minions of the Warden? Goodness, that became a whole lot of crazy. A whole lot of crazy at once. They rush you, and you quickly hook them through the face. There are screams as the weapons seem to take control of their minds. You are covered in blood and gore as your weapon has taken on a life of its own, twisting and turning through the air, impaling one enemy after another. Whoa. What? Okay. I'm going to ask the hook. Who are you? And are you some kind of magic weapon? Okay. Upgrade. Looks like your boy got an upgrade. We're upgrading. You ask your silver hook who it is, and it answers, I am a shape-shifting weapon animated by the spirit of an ancient wizard. I can take any form you wish, but for now, this hook shape seems to be the most useful form for you. I'm going to ask the hook, what is your name? Also, wicked. That's really cool. I'm totally down for that. The hook answers, I have no name. We have to come up with one then. I'll think of one later, you say, as you shove the hook through somebody's chest. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say, I came up with a name. I'll call you Offda. It is a play on the phrase off the hook. Get it? Because you look like a hook? Yeah. So there we go. That's probably one of the best names I've come up with for anything that's kind of pet-like. Offda responds, I get it, and lunges through the chest of another monster, causing it to scream. There's one last monster for you to kill. The monster is viciously strong. I'm gonna ask Offda. So, how did you become my weapon? The last thing I remember before falling into the Warden's illusory reality was confronting the Warden. And at the time, I didn't have you. Yeah, so let's see if we can like explain like what happened in between them. Offda explains, I was here for centuries before you arrived. In this land of monsters and magic, anything can be animated by a dark spirit. It took you a long time to arrive because the dark castle shifts to an entirely different plane between dimensions every 12 hours. So I'm going to say to Offda, I see. So when I was stuck in the illusion, the castle shifted into a plane of existence where you already were. And we then were bound together. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I can accept that. Excuse me. Offda grunts in understanding. You ask Offda, do you have a big part in what happens next? Wait, did you have a big part in what happened next? I was having trouble remembering. I'm not going to ask that part. I'm going to get rid of that part. Okay. I'm going to now ask Offda, do you happen to know what powers this monster has? Offda's cool as fuck. You know we're about to get some fan art of Offda. Offda explains, it's a shapeless mass that absorbs the body of its enemy and takes on the powers and abilities of its prey. It has absorbed the bodies of many great mages and used their powers against their former allies. It's smarter than it looks. I'm going to ask Offda, are these monsters the minions of the Warden? Yeah, like, why are we fighting these monsters in the first place? Offda explains, they are the minions of nobody. They're here to cause death and pain for its own sake. The Warden only allows them into his dark castle because they give him his fighting spirit. A bolt of lightning shoots out of Offda and burns the monster to a crisp. Yo. Okay. I'm going to ask Offda, will you join me in taking down... Well, hold on. Can you protect my mind from the Warden's influence? Last time, I thought I had the Warden on the ropes. only to later realize that he had trapped me in an illusion. And in reality, I thought he had torn me in half and then I had died. Ofta explains, I can help you avoid the illusions that the Warden creates, but I cannot stop you from falling for your own illusions. As I said, you were created to be a weapon. That is what you were made to do. You have nothing else inside of you. Wait. You didn't say that. Like, I feel like he's confusing his own origins with mine. I'm gonna hit retry on that. Ofta explains, I can shield your mind from the effects of the mind mirror, but if you wish to wield its full power, you'll have to allow the Warden to enter your mind. That is why his guests go insane. They cannot handle the full horror of the mind mirror. I'm going to say to Ofta, I remember the Warden mentioning the mind mirror. So he doesn't actually possess the power to manipulate the minds of others. His mind mirror is the key to that power. What would happen if we destroyed the Warden's mind mirror? Okay. Ofta chuckles and explains, that is not something you or any being can do. The mind mirror is protected by certain defenses that are nigh invincible. You would need an army of elite fighters to take it, and even then the casualties would be great. I'm going to say to Ofta, you are a shape-shifting weapon. Couldn't you literally transform into an army of elite fighters, take the mind mirror, and destroy it? Yeah, like, I don't actually see the problem. You're essentially saying what we need in order to, like, solve our issue, and you also are what we need to solve the issue. Ofta does not answer. You can hear the sounds of battle approaching. Watching Jane Siren slowly approach you, you realize that you've seen her before, though you do not know where. You also notice that she is as beautiful as ever. Jane Sirens. Hold on. You suddenly remember Jane Sirens. You say, hey, you're related to Victoria. Or I guess to Vic. We've never met before. When I saw your poster, like your missing persons poster, it said you were 8 years old. How old are you now? That poster was old. Jane Sirens is a character that was introduced in a previous Jet Starlight non-canon adventure that this adventure is based off of, in case you guys were wondering who the fuck Jane Sirens is supposed to be. Jane Sirens says to you, I'm 15. I turned 16 this year. Okay? Also, gross. Don't say that she's as beautiful as ever if she's like underage game. Come on. Cool. So Jane's fighting here. That's kind of interesting. So I'm gonna say to Ofta, or I guess ask Ofta. Well, yeah. Or, I actually don't know how to respond to the Ofta thing. I'm gonna say to Ofta, This is Jane Sirens. She's related to my friend Vic. I don't know, Actually, yeah. And then I'm going to ask Jane, because that would be the next logical thing. Did Vic steal the Warden's magic crown? I was supposed to distract the Warden, but the Warden trapped me in an illusory reality. Jane Sirens does not answer. Perhaps it is because you don't know if she has betrayed you or not that caused you to panic. You need to know whether you are working against her or with her. Fair, to be honest. Yeah, like, I'm going to say to Ofta, or I guess ask Ofta. If you don't want us to destroy the mind mirror, then what do you want us to do? I think that's a fair question. Ofta says to you, I want you to wait here patiently. I will try to find the Warden. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm going to say to Ofta, oh no you don't. We are bound together due to the dimensional shift. We are a team. I want you to form a suit of armor around me. Let's go take out that mirror. I think it will be easier than you think. Especially if we don't look at the mirror. Ofta smiles slyly and agrees. You wait patiently while Ofta forms a suit of silver armor around your body. Let's go, you say to Jane Sirens and Ofta. Wait, booms the booming voice. Oh shit. Wait, booms the booming voice of the Warden of Seld City. I'm going to say to Ofta and Jane Sirens, we don't have time to spend fighting the Warden. He'll just use the mirror on us again. We need to destroy the mirror and ignore the Warden. Yeah, the Warden is just a distraction. The mirror is the true enemy. Ofta nods his head in agreement. I'm not going near the mirror, says Jane Sirens. The Warden has threatened to kill me. I'm going to say to Jane Sirens, well, kill him first. You can try to hold off the Warden. While we focus on destroying the mirror. Okay, so let's see if we can do it. It's a tall task, but somebody has to pull it off. Jane extends her hands out and blasts the warden with a bolt of lightning. The warden stumbles backwards, but otherwise seems unharmed. The warden responds by firing a blast of golden light at Jane's Sirens, who falls to the floor, seemingly dead. Oh shit. Fine, yells the warden. And I'm gonna add, like, fine, you have chosen death. I am stunned the warden possesses more powers than he did previously. You wonder if the warden's powers are relative to what dimension the dark castle is in at any given time. So I thought it was cool that Jane could shoot lightning, but the warden not only no-diffed a lightning bolt, but also just like had another power. Also, the game tried to railroad me. I'm gonna retry. It not only tried to railroad me, but it tried to give me like another power. The massive black arm of the warden smashes into you, knocking you down to the ground. The next thing you know, Ofta's armored fist is smashing into the side of the warden's face. Yeah. Okay, Ofta and I are working together. Excuse me. I'm going to say to Ofta, let's shift the armor into speed mode. We need to move as fast as possible to track down and destroy the mind mirror. It is the only real way to take down the warden. Okay. Let the battle rage on. Ofta nods his head, and the two of you shift the priorities of the armor's AI, speeding you up significantly. Ooh, it's like an Iron Man kind of armor. Ofta's gauntlets morph into smaller versions of himself, flying around to help you fight the warden's guards. He can do that? Oh shit. Okay, I'm going to race through the dark castle and try to locate the mind mirror. Okay, so this is pretty hype so far. Like, I'm really digging it. It's too bad that Jane came into the story just to kind of die immediately. You went off to speed through the halls of the Dark Castle, knocking guards out of the way. You pass many posters advertising various ongoing fights in the Dark Arena. Eventually, you reach a massive golden door with an equally massive lock on it. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to say to Ofta, while I was in the illusory reality, it seems like I was able to learn more about my powers. I think I might be able to shoot a fireball to melt away that lock. Let's see if that works. Ofta nods, raising his armored foot and bringing it down on the lock. The lock breaks open. Ofta draws his sword and swings it, cutting through the massive golden chain that held the door closed. And then Ofta pushes the door open. I'm going to say, well, I guess I didn't need to use a fireball. Thanks, Ofta. Ooh, maybe my fireball could be used to melt the mind mirror. You know, I got all these new powers. Let me use this new power. Octa's like, nah, I'm the new main character. I can shapeshift and kind of do anything. Octa rolls his eyes. Let's focus on killing the warden first. You both enter the room. The room is filled with odd machinery and is generally a mess. You notice the walls of the room are actually heavily engraved with symbols and runes. Okay. I'm going to race around the golden room. The golden room. The golden room. In search of the mind mirror. Also, we shouldn't focus on killing the warden first. Destroying the mind mirror is how you defeat the warden. Your eyes scan the room. You notice that on one end of the room, there's a large machine that looks like a metal table. Above it are 3 tubes, each releasing a different colored gas: green, red, and blue. I'm going to ask Ofta, do you see anything around the room that could be the mind mirror? Earlier when Ofta said let's focus on killing the warden first, he might be saying, before you try to like see if your illusory powers work, we like focus on like the task at hand. I have no idea, Ofta admits. Ofta draws his sword, looking around nervously. You look around the room some more, and your eyes stop on a strange machine on the other side of the room. I'm going to say to Ofta, let's break everything in this room. I imagine that one of these devices is the mind mirror. Yeah, like, let's just go, like, all out. Okay, Ofta says, hefting his sword. Ofta charges towards one side of the room and smashes a glass tube connected to a row of large bellows. You look around for something else to break. Okay, I'm gonna start smashing everything in sight. I'm going to attempt to fire fireballs at everything in the room. You were able to shoot fire while in the illusory reality, and you think that those powers might actually be powers that you possess in the real world. After a few misses, you manage to hit your first target. You set fire to some of the gas being released from the green tube. You aim at one of the red tubes, but accidentally hit the blue tube instead. Okay, so I'm not very accurate with the fireballs, but the illusory reality stuff actually was handy because it means that I actually can use all of those powers. Let's see. I'm going to say to Ofta, I'm going to just burn this whole room with a big fireball. Yeah, rather than trying to attack individual things in the room, let's just burn it all down. Ofta nods and readies his sword. You focus on the flames, and soon your entire body is overtaken by fire. You stand in the middle of the room, a fireball twice your height surrounding your body as you toss it from hand to hand. What? So my whole body is engulfed in like a big fireball, but it's twice my height. And then wait, hold up. A fireball twice the size of my body surrounds me, but I also toss it from hand to hand? I don't even understand what that means. Does that mean I summon... It says one fireball, twice my height, surrounds my body as I toss it from hand to hand. That doesn't make sense. Retry. I'm just confused by the description. Whatever you think is best, my king. Ooh, off to give me the royal treatment. You set the room ablaze, engulfing everything in fire. The metal table at the far end of the room grows red hot, then white hot, and then disappears completely. I'm going to say to Ofta, that metal table might have been the mind mirror. Now that it's gone, let's go confront the Warden. Okay, so the Warden actually seems stronger in this current dimension, and he can shoot golden beams, and he may still be able to manipulate trees and rocks. That's probably a good idea, Ofta says, stepping back from the wall of fire blocking you from the next room. You exit the room and find yourself in a large hallway. Okay, we're going to race to the Warden. I guess race back to the Warden and attempt to surprise him with a sucker punch to the back of the head. So I think we destroyed the mind mirror. We'll see. AI doesn't know what to say. How are we doing on time? 8 minutes left. Excuse me. You charge ahead towards the Warden, who is standing in front of a large set of doors. The Warden turns around to face you. Off to Greenspawn and Jet Starlight, the Warden says. You were surprised that the Warden knew Ofta's name and even gave him a last name. You just named Ofta only moments ago. You wonder if the Warden tapped into your mind before you destroyed the mind mirror in order to learn about your plan. You confront the Warden and say, we've destroyed the mind mirror. Now, you can't control us or throw us into your illusory reality. Off the Greenspawn or Greenspan? What a weird last name. The Warden smiles at you and then speaks into his armband. Green mirror, I need a lift. The door behind the Warden opens slowly. Am I supposed to be afraid? Ofta says, a hint of fear in his voice. I'm going to say green mirror. Does the Warden have a collection of mirrors that each possess different abilities? Great. Even if we did destroy the mind mirror, if he just has more mirrors, then that could be a problem. Hopefully it'll only be green, the warden says with a laugh before entering the portal. You and Ofta follow the warden into the portal. I sure hope this works, Ofta says to you. Oh, great. I can't... Why on earth would we follow the warden? Okay. I'm going to attempt to pull the warden out of the portal and back into the dark castle. I don't want to, like, go into whatever, like, new battlefield he's going to try and send us to. Because wherever we go, it would be a place where he would have, like, the home field advantage. Also, what the warden said earlier, I'm going to change to the warden says mockingly. So the green mirror is like the warden's ability to just like summon a portal that allows him to just travel places. You reach out and grab the warden, hoping to pull him out of the portal. You find yourself floating in nothing. A vast emptiness that you can't describe. You see the warden just ahead of you, pulling Ofta into the void as well. I'm going to say to Ofta, hold on and maintain your form as armor around my body. We can change the armor into jet mode so that we can fly around the void. So yes, the mind mirror and the green mirror. Ofta grabs hold of you as he begins to speak in a loud voice. Gargoyles arise and become my armor, become my wings, become my physical shield against the world. You feel your body shifting and molding into a much heavier form. I'm going to say to Olaf, so you can shapeshift me as well? That will definitely come in handy. Now, let's fly after the warden and finish him off. Okay. The warden's trying to run away, but that doesn't matter. If he's floating through the void while we can freely fly around the void, I think we have the advantage. You and Ofta fly after the warden, who turns around to meet you. You think you can defeat me? The warden asks. The warden raises his hands and blasts Ofta with a powerful bolt of dark red energy, causing him to scream out in pain. I'm going to say to Ofta, continue to harden your armored form so that we can power through his blast. Let's see. And I'm going to try to continue rocketing towards the warden to try and claw him to death with my new gargoyle talents. Okay. So I need to try and, like, break through. Ofta's body continues to harden as you get closer to the warden, eventually turning into a powerful gargoyle-like creature with wings, claws, and a thick exoskeleton. This is how I truly am, Ofta says. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to claw into the warden's chest and say, this is payback. This is payback in the form of a flashback. remember this, and then I'm going to attempt to rip the Warden in half. Like what the Warden did to me earlier in the illusory reality. That's right, we're getting at him. So be it, the Warden says as your claws rip through his chest. Unfortunately, he's a master of dark magic, and even if you do manage to rip him apart, he'll just put himself back together again. So the Warden can regenerate. He's constantly getting more and more powers. And we only have 1 second left. Yo, so this has been a pretty crazy adventure for sure. What do you guys think of this episode? Shout out to King of Craxels for getting this video. Man, yo, I had a crazy ride. What do you guys think? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and on our Discord. If you guys would like me to make your video ideas a reality, definitely make sure to hit me up on Discord. We can talk out, your plans for the video. And if I agree with it, then I'll charge an hour per video length. So, no, I won't charge an hour per, I'm sorry, it's like 2 a.m. I'll charge $7 per hour of the video. So if you have an idea for like an AI Dungeon 2 video, or if you have a game that you want me to play, just hit me up on Discord, we'll talk about it, and I'll charge $7 per hour of video footage. Shout out to King of Craxels once again, he paid $14, and he got this $14 2-hour epic out of it. So definitely make sure to show him some love on Discord. Thank you all once again for watching. I do AI Dungeon 2 videos every day. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jump Like the One Only, logging out and getting ready to go to sleep because it's 2 a.m. Peace, guys. Check it about.